Hello and welcome to Euphoria. I recently built this Sanctum Sanctorum building from Lego set number 76218. I found this to be an enjoyable build, and there are some interesting build techniques with this set, which I showed you in my videos of the main steps of the build, which were the two build videos earlier in this series. When you look at the design of this building closely, you find that there are some interesting design choices and, of course, some compromises with the design. I looked at those as well in another video. I did enjoy constructing this set according to the instructions, but I can think of lots of ways that I might want to make changes or improvements. So in this video, I'm going to look at some of those ideas, which are mostly around changing the size or proportions of the building, rather than completely changing the concept behind the design. Now, thinking about such changes doesn't mean that they would be easy to implement, but I think they're still worth thinking about. I enjoyed constructing this set according to the instructions, so that I'm familiar with all the parts of the set and the way it's all put together. But I can think of lots of ways that I might want to make changes or improvements. I'm going to outline some of these ideas now, but that doesn't mean they'd be easy to implement. Like many Lego models, the inside is a different scale to the outside. The interior is really just one room on each level, whereas a building of the size shown in the movies would have lots of rooms on each level. It would be nice to make the building bigger. For example, doubling the size of the front facade. This would be more than just making a mirror image of the build and sticking it on the side. I would want to keep the entrance in the centre and keep the symmetry of the facade. One way to approach that would be to double the size of the windows to 4 studs wide and double the width of the columns to 2 studs wide. It would also be possible to regularise the spacing of the columns and the windows so that they had, for example, one brick consistently between the columns and the windows. That would need some modification of the way that the dormer windows in the roof are built, because the vehicle mudguards that are used over the current windows wouldn't be wide enough. But another solution must be possible using alternative parts. Then it might be possible to include the other angled corner on the other side, if there's room, although that could lead to a strange kind of double corner modular building with pavements on 3 sides. You could extend the side of the building to get rid of the alley down the back. A larger building would of course give you more space inside, and that means there could be more rooms. On the ground floor, you could have more than just the entrance hall and the corridor. I don't know what those rooms would be used for, so if you have any ideas, let me know. On the upper floors, you could also have more than one room, and there might be room for an internal staircase. My feeling is that logically that could go in the same space as the corridor on the ground floor and would in effect be behind the bookcases on the first floor. Or you could move the study completely into a separate room and leave the area at the top of the stairs as a landing or circulation area. It would also be good to actually make the second floor of the building as a separate floor and move the second row of windows into that floor. That would make the building quite a lot taller and give a lot more internal space to the building. But I think if you were doubling the width of the building, it would still keep the same proportions. Another option would be to de-MOCability the building. In other words, to make it into an ordinary building without being the Sanctum Sanctorum itself. In this case, I'd need to modify the roof section to remove the feature window and perhaps replace it with more dormer windows. I could also remove or change some other features, such as the strange portal thing with the chained up book at the back of the building, and use that space for something else. And I'd have the freedom to modify the rest of the interior if I wanted to. But also, if this building wasn't going to be the Sanctum Sanctorum, the home of Doctor Strange, I would need to think again about what this building actually is. In other words, redefine the concept of the building. I suppose without the Doctor Strange associations, this building could just be a classical style townhouse with a nice mansard roof. It could be an apartment building with 1 or 2 apartments on each floor, a bit like the Haussmann style buildings that you see in some cities. Or, if I built it on an expanded footprint or with an additional floor, it could be a small hotel on a par with the new boutique hotel modular building. Or it could have another purpose entirely. Can you think of any ideas? I really enjoyed constructing this set according to the instructions, so that I'm familiar with all the parts of the set and the way it's put together. And I've been able to look at the different build options and consider where I might want to make changes or improvements. I do like the classical style of this building with its masonry walls, columns and mansard roof. I also like that it's a corner building. I especially like the angled corner. And it's on a standard 32 by 32 base plate and already meets the standards for a modular building. I think it's a great building, and as a traditional style city house, I think it easily deserves a place in my Lego city. It's fun to think about modifying or expanding this building, but of course all of that would take a lot of time to design and a whole load of extra bricks and parts to build. And I've lots of other Lego things to be doing, so I don't think that the mocking of this set is going to happen very soon. I do like the building, but I'm just not that much of a Marvel fan that I'm desperate for a much larger Sanctum. And I'll probably be finding a place for the building, pretty much as it is, in my Lego city. Do you think it will be worth mocking this building, even if it meant making it into a building that isn't a larger Sanctum? Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please press the like button if you liked this video, hit the bell to be informed of any updates, and subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos about this project, my other MOCs, and further developments in my Lego city.